"I can hardly keep my eyes open," Vanessa groaned as the two of them made their way to the master bedroom. She turned on the ceiling fan to high speed. Without brushing his teeth, he stripped down to his briefs and crawled under the cool sheets of their squeaky old brass bed. "I'm not setting the alarm," he heard Vanessa say. "No need to." Dick was already half asleep. At some point in his slumber, he felt her weight shifting on the mattress. He heard the bed springs squeaking. Then he heard her whispering to someone in the hallway outside the bedroom door. He wondered if he was dreaming. Dick wondered the same thing now. His eyes were closed, but he could still see the empty stare of the corpse beside him in bed. All at once he sensed someone hovering over him. He tried to scream and wake himself up, but he couldn't. Something started crushing his chest. He couldn't breathe. He opened his eyes with a start and saw a woman standing over him. She had one knee pressed against his sternum. In the dark, it took him a moment to see her face. Was it Vanessa? She looked so ugly with her mouth twisted into a scowl, and she wore a strange kind of uniform jumpsuit. It was gray with a zipper up the front. She held one end of a thick piece of rope in her hand. "What?" was all he could say past the pressure against his chest. She yanked at the rope, and suddenly his hands shot up. He felt something pinching around his wrists as his arms swung over his head. His knuckles banged against the brass rail headboard, and it hurt like hell. "I've been practicing this," she murmured, almost to herself. Leaning over him, she tied the rope around one of the brass rails. "If I pull this just the right way, it'll unravel, and the rope will fall off your wrists in one quick motion. Your hands will be free again, but by then it'll be too late for you." It felt as if his arms were being pulled from their sockets. The skin at his armpits was stretched thin. Wincing, Dick arched his back to stop the pain. He tried to kick, but couldn't move his legs. He couldn't even feel them. She let out a long sigh. "The pills I ground up and put in the caramel sauce are pretty strong, aren't they? I'm sure you're still kind of groggy. You barely flinched when I rolled you over in bed and gave you a spinal block. Your breathing didn't even change. That paralysis in your legs, it's from the spinal." In a panic, Dick again tried to move his legs, but nothing happened. "The paralysis is temporary," she continued. "It doesn't last more than a couple of hours. In your case, Dick, that means you won't be able to move your legs for the rest of your life." She leaned down closer to him. "Do you understand what I'm telling you?" He just shook his head.